I gave one speech for free and it brought in an additional $80,000 worth of client value. And I want to show you exactly how you can do that. Now, this video may be counterintuitive. You might be thinking, why would you speak for free when you could speak and be a paid speaker? Now, I've spoken all over the world, the United States, China, Canada, and I've spoken as a free speaker and I've spoken as a paid speaker. And what I want to do is I want to share with you how you can monetize your existing knowledge, monetize your digital or physical assets, and make money as a free speaker. And like I said, this might be counterintuitive because a lot of people want to get paid to speak. Well, there are two ways to get paid to speak. You can get paid as a contractual value where it is a speaker's fee, or you can speak for free and get paid on the back end from the attendees in the room. Now, for the sake of this conversation, this is going to be most targeted towards people who speak to audiences or who want to speak to audiences that have their ideal customers in attendance. Now, I want to also be very clear. This is not about pitching yourself and doing selling from stage. This is very much delivering a high quality value presentation and turning that into speaking engagements. And so here's my process. I'm just going to kind of boil this down because I think it will be very helpful. I know a lot of our clients who we help write books and start speaking find it very valuable. So I hope that you enjoy this, and I hope that maybe you see speaking a little bit differently, because what I have found also, this is a little bit easier sometimes to get a free gig than it is to get a paid gig. And what I've also found is that sometimes you can make a lot more money by speaking for free than you can by just getting your speaker fee. So here's the deal. There's this process that I've kind of created. And step number one, in order to do this process, I believe you want to have a really great book. And you want to write a really great book on the front end, because if you have a really great book, your credibility goes through the roof. And if your credibility is higher and you have an actual book, you're seen as more of a thought leader, more of an expert. And if you want to do speaking, and especially if you're going to pitch yourself to speak, having an asset like this will make you getting these gigs much, much easier than if you just said, I want to come speak at your event. So now the first part is get a really great book done. If you want help with that, that's what we do. We have a full service book publishing company at Big Idea to Bestseller. Now, once you have a great book, how do we translate that into speaking and getting paid to speak? Well, what I love to do is the minute my book's done and the minute my manuscript's done and the minute that I've started writing my book, literally every stage of the process, I'm starting to reach out to my network and build existing and new relationships. And so once you have written your great book, you want to start to tap into your network. Who do you already know that as an audience you want to speak in front of? Who do you already know that potentially has an event coming up or a conference coming up or a mastermind coming up? If you're in the entrepreneurial world, retreats and masterminds can be really, really advantageous to speak at. Okay? And step number 3 is speak for free. And again, I said this would be counterintuitive, and you might be like, Jake, why would you speak for free? Well, if I command $10,000 for a speaker fee, but I know that the room is filled with my ideal clients, and I have the chance to give up my speaker fee and then be able to convert on the back end, I can make an exponential return off of that. But here's the kicker. If you're going to speak for free, you need to make sure that it's to the right audience. The right audience is going to be really, really critical. On top of that, you have to believe in yourself. You have to know that without a doubt, what you are doing is the right thing. What you are doing is of value to the people you aim to serve. And you have to believe that you know your shit. And let me tell you this, if you got a great book, you do know your shit. And so here's what I do is I will pay my way there. I will pay for my flight, my hotel, my housing, my meals, anything. And I will give books to everybody in attendance. I will invest in myself. Okay? And then what I want to do is I want to trust myself and get hyped up, because the better the speeches, the more potential leads that I can gain. Now, once I'm there, I've paid for my way, I'm going to speak for free. The most important part of this whole thing, you got to give a great talk. You got to give a great talk, whether it's a 15-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute, 90-minute keynote, workshop, whatever. You got to deliver a ton of value that solves the problem and gets people excited about what they're trying to learn, but also it opens the door for the possibility that they can actually do the thing that you service people in. So let me give you an example. One time I did this and I flew myself to Nashville, Tennessee. I put myself up in a hotel room and I was going to speak. I was really excited about this. And so here's what I did. As I got to know people, as I was networking with people, I made sure that the presentation I delivered was incredible, and it was on how to write a really great book that will 10x your business. And what I did in that presentation was I made sure I broke it down so that I can make sure people understood why a book is so powerful, how to actually get started on a book, and then what is the actual timeline or process. And by doing that, I was able to show people that it's possible. I was able to show people why it's going to benefit them. And I was able to show them that they can do it. And it's not as hard as they might already think. So you delivered an incredible talk. Now, once the talk is done, in my opinion, this is where you really separate yourself as a speaker, especially if you're speaking for free, especially if you're speaking for free at a colleague's event. And that's this: stick around and connect. When I first started speaking, there was this frame of thought that once you're done speaking, you want to leave as fast as you can. And I never really loved that idea because I want to connect with the people that I spoke with. I didn't want to feel like I couldn't talk to other people. And certain events, I come in and I come out. But when I am speaking for free and I'm there at someone's event, I want to build relationships. I want to show the event host that I'm committed to them and their audience. And so if I have the time, I will stick around. I'll have a booth after. I'll kind of just hang out by the lobby. I'll make sure that I'm available to communicate and connect with the people that I just spoke with. My primary goal, while yes, I'd love to get clients, my primary goal is to make the event host look incredible by bringing me out as the speaker. And so once I'm doing that, I'm connecting and I'm chatting. And again, my job is not to sell people there. That's not my job. My job is to help the event host look really great, provide a lot of value, and help them ultimately convert more on their back end. I want to be a great support system to their ecosystem. And at the same time, I want to do such a good job that people are asking me more and more questions. And so the next part is make sure you have the right follow-up approach and you book the appointments live. So here's what I mean by this. I'm at an event. I'm speaking at the event. I finished my talk, delivered great talk. People are coming up to me and chatting. And they're asking me, Jake, how do I write a book? Can I ask you some questions? I'll answer any and all questions because, again, I want them to have the best experience. But if they start really getting deep into it, I know that what I want to do is I want to make sure that we set a follow-up time to really dig deep into their specific situation. And so what I'll do is say, hey, I love absolutely talking. I'm happy to answer all of your questions. But what I'd really love to do is set up a time in the next few days when you're back from this event. And what we could do is we could break down exactly what a game plan for your book would look like. And what this does is it keeps the attention on the actual event, but it also allows me to build relationships and set my appointments. The minute I can get somebody onto the calendar, that's a new booked call. And from there, the following week, I send my follow-ups, I finish booking the appointments, and I start converting. And then on those calls, I invite people to join me if it's a good fit. Now, that's the process, okay? That is the process. You write a great book, you tap into your network, you speak for free, you pay yourself on the way there, that's still part of 3, you deliver a great value, you stick around and connect, you have a follow-up approach and book appointments, and then you invite people to join you in what you're doing. That's a very, very simplistic way of going from I want to be a speaker and sign more clients to how you can actually do this by speaking for free. Now, I did this at an event, and I do this regularly when I go to events, and I did this. I gave an hour-long talk, I connected, and we brought in over $80,000. So the question I have for you is this. Would you rather grind, and try to get $2,500, $5,000, or $10,000 on the front end as a speaker fee? Or would you rather speak for free, deliver incredible value, be a champion of the person who brought you out there, and then have the potential to earn 5, 10, 20x what you could have ever commanded for a speaker fee anyways? Different events, different strategies. But if you are using a nonfiction book to get speaking gigs and then clients on the back end, this might be something that you want to consider. So I hope this was valuable for you. I know that for me, I wish I would have known this in the first place because I would have stopped spending so much time and effort trying to push myself as a paid speaker, and I would have just found the events that had the right audiences who could buy from me on the back end. And that has been a significant opportunity for me. Now, if you can do both, that's even better. But for this conversation, for this particular thing, I just wanted to give you a little lay of the land and show you what it takes to make money by speaking for free. So there you have it. And here is my challenge to you. Number one is if you don't already have a book, I'd encourage you to start thinking about a book because it makes everything easier. If you want to learn more about that, go to bigideatobestseller.com/free-book or bigideatobestseller.com/call. And you can get a free copy of my book and we can hop on the phone. And if you really want to start executing on this, the challenge is really simple. Identify the audiences that you want to sell to. Figure out what events they're going to and make a list. And then once you have that list, you can start reaching out to the people who host these events and start working your magic. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you soon.